Till one day she just stopped coming back. I was wondering what happened to her. About 6 months to a year later, she came back. She said, I actually went to Brazil. I am back with another Tales from the Therapist. So today we're going to be talking about bipolar disorder. So generally speaking, bipolar disorder is called bipolar because it's oscillating between two polar opposites, right? So on one hand, we've got depression, and the other hand, we have mania, basically, right? So depression, we know, you're feeling very sad and down. With mania, basically what happens is that when someone gets very high, right, meaning to say that they feel that they can do anything, they could buy 3 condos and 2 cars with the credit cards and believe that they can, pay it off at the end of the month, that kind of thing, right? So you can see why it's such a problem, because if someone keeps oscillating between the two, they're going to have moments where they can fight the world, win the world kind of thing, and after that, they crash. I've had quite a few clients like this, and one really stands out. She came in and then, she was going through a depressed stage, and then we were working through her to overcome it, right? And one thing I've noticed about people, clients with bipolar disorder, is that they tend to develop plans for themselves. They want to create manifestos and theses. And I think that has a lot to do with that mania episode that they're going through in that sense, right? Till one day she just stopped coming back. I was wondering what happened to her. I was quite worried about her, but she didn't respond to any of my emails. About 6 months to a year later, she came back, and then I asked her, "Hey, what's up? Everything's going okay?" She said, I actually went to Brazil. I was like, what were you doing in Brazil? Oh, I went there because I saw this video game of these people doing capoeira, that Brazilian martial art. And I was like, oh, okay. So I think that in on its own is a good example of that mania happening, because moving to Brazil for 6 months to learn capoeira is something that for someone with mania feels it's like taking a walk to the park or having McDonald's for dinner in that sense, right? They don't see the repercussions of that kind of actions, or the implications that could happen to them in that sense, right? When you're depressed, you're swung all the way here. And then when you're on a mania, when you're high, you swing all the way there. So it's these extremes that make it very hard for these persons to cope. So what we did a lot in therapy was to try and understand where these things were coming from, and also to limit the oscillations so that the variations were more akin or more similar to an everyday functioning person. Another thing that we did was that I strongly encouraged her to start taking medication as well, because we needed that chemical balancing out. If you want to find out more about bipolar disorder, drop us a line at themind.com.my, and we're happy to help you out as well.